Alright, so today's video, we are going to be taking a look at just 5 little ideas of what to get, your dad for Father's Day. Or, that special person, maybe the spouse, you want to buy them something for Father's Day. We're going to take a look at a few budgety options, just some things that aren't going to break the bank. So, let's get into it. So starting off, what guy really doesn't like getting a new knife? So obviously I had to start this video with knives, and I got just a couple little options on the table. I just threw a fixed blade on here just because this obviously is not limited to folders. Obviously you know who you're buying this for, whether they like fixed blades, whether they like folding knives, kind of but for general normal use, these are going to be some that are really not going to break the bank. So Kubikoas, this is an amazing knife, and they go on sale pretty frequently. You can find them on Amazon if you're an Amazon shopper. Pretty much get it next day type thing, which is pretty nice since Father's Day is approaching pretty fast. This particular color right here, this is the Jade. This one was on sale for like 20 bucks, somewhere around there, which is why I picked this one up. So you can usually get these for a pretty good deal. This is an amazing knife if you see me flicking it around, just to show you that it is truly awesome. This is a classic. So this is the Buck 110, and I also picked this one up for 20 bucks. I might have got a little lucky on this one, but a Buck 110, if you are buying this for your dad, chances are they've had one of these in their lifetime, and this is just such a good knife to buy somebody. Probably bring back a lot of memories, whether you buy it for your dad, grandpa, your spouse. Just such a good knife. I mean, really, it's one of those that who doesn't like having a Buck 110. So if that special person does not have one of these already, it's pretty much a safe bet that if you buy one of those, it's going to be something they keep for a really long time. Next knife, of course, this is going to be the Ontario Knife Company. Here we go. See if I can get, there we go. Ontario Knife Company. This is the Rat Model 1. Mine's an AUS 8. If you buy this particular model, this one's going to be about 20 bucks, which is why it's on this list. Pretty inexpensive. Not very much at all. You can get different versions of this knife, and it can cost a little bit more if you want to spend just a little bit more. But this is an absolutely amazing knife, and really, no matter who you buy it for, they'll be able to put this knife right to work, and it's going to probably do everything they're wanting it to do. So this guy right here, I threw a fixed blade in here just so that we could have one, just to have it on the table. And this is the Artesian Cutlery Sea Snake. This is an awesome knife. Got a really cool Wharncliffe style blade. If that person that you are buying a knife for still, does a lot of utility cutting or breaks down boxes and stuff a lot, something like this is really awesome. These are not too expensive. I want to say this is like 30 or so, 40, could be less, could have came down in recent times, but it does come with a nice little sheath. It does come with a lanyard so that you could wear it as a neck knife if need be. It can also slide in a pocket pretty easily. You can add clips. Sky's the limit when it comes to carry options for something like this. But you can pick up fixed blades really cheap, and a knife is always a good Father's Day present. I mean, really, unless it's just someone who really doesn't care for knives, you kind of can't go wrong. So that's why I just went ahead and put this at the top of the list. And you can get really good knives nowadays. The market is changing. You can get really good knives and really not spend a whole lot of money. So that is a superb gift option. So moving on, what is somebody who carries EDC items without a flashlight? So I just grabbed some of the top, like just a few of the top budget lights that I have that I think, if you're going to buy a light for somebody, these are just such good options. And this is the new Ace Beam Pokelit, however you want to pronounce it, AA. And there are 2 variations to this. So you have the 1000 lumen edition, which is this one, and then you have the other one, which I think is like like 500 or 650 or something to that effect. But this just runs on normal AA batteries. They can, I'm sure you have I was going to say 14500s, but I'm sure you have AA batteries laying around the house, so you don't have to buy a whole lot to go along with this flashlight. You can pick them up for like 20 bucks on Amazon. You can have it pretty much next day. So this is great. These just came out, so chances are, unless your person is very active in the EDC community, they probably don't have this one yet, and they totally should. It's a great light. So the Workos, let's move on to this little Workos right here. So this is the TS11, or TS10, excuse me. There you go, Workos TS10. This thing is awesome. I actually don't have a battery in here at the moment, but there we go. We'll throw one in as I knock everything over while I'm getting to my stuff. We'll throw a battery in there and just kind of show you what we're working with. So there we go. I've got a 14500 battery in here. And the cool thing about this light is that it has this blue glow. And that stays on. I'm sure you can go into the settings and probably turn that off. See, we got it on moonlight. When you turn on moonlight, the glow goes off. If I turn the light off, the glow comes back on. This is a super cool flashlight for right around that $20 price point. It's got like a satin finish, aluminum. The pocket clip is good. It's reversible. It's got double-sided, so you can put it on like a ball cap. This is just a really, really cool flashlight, and it is, it's pretty small, so it can really be carried by anybody. The glow that it has is really, really neat. There's a lot of things we could say about this light, but realistically, it's super bright. It's very, very well priced. It's got some really cool features, and the special person in your life would more than likely definitely just really, really enjoy this flashlight. So that is the Workos TS10. Great light for the price. Man, really, really good. And so last but not least, we will talk about Olight for a second. So this is the i5R. They make i5Ts, which the difference between the R and the T is R is rechargeable, T is not. There's probably some other differences, but that's just the basic takeaway. And then you have like the i3s, which are a little bit smaller. So your i5s are going to run on AA batteries, and your i3s are going to run on AAA batteries. So i5s tend to be a little bit more than i3s, but not by much. And size-wise, I mean, they're really, really similar. They're really close. I think the i5 is definitely the way to go for someone who's going to carry the flashlight every day. For me, the i3 is just a little small, and the AAA just not quite enough output to tick that box for me. But when it comes to the i5s, I mean, $20 and up is pretty good to say. You're probably closer to like the $30 price point when it comes to the i5s. i3s are going to be closer to the $20 price point, but they're both pretty close in price. There's not a huge difference. And the cool thing about picking one of these is there is a giant array of colors, and you can really, for the person you're buying it for, you can pretty much bet that you're going to be able to pick up this flashlight in their favorite color. So that makes it a really, really, really good gift idea. I highly recommend any three of these flashlights. They are all three just absolutely phenomenal. Picking one over the other, I mean, this Ace Beam is really, really gaining a lot of traction lately. But the i5s and Olight have been a fan favorite for a really, really long time. If you got someone who's into flashlights or someone who knows anything about flashlights or the EDC community, 99% sure they know who Olight is, so you really can't go wrong with Olight. But if they have a lot of Olights and they don't have this Ace Beam or this Workos, there you go. Those are amazing ideas. I love all those lights. So we got a couple more things. So this is a tough one. I just grabbed the Civivi pen because it is the best priced option that I have, aside from like the Olight mini pens. But if your person, the person you're buying this for, if they do any kind of writing, or if they still work, if they're in an office, or even not, I mean, having a nice pen it's such a big deal. I didn't do the whole pen thing for a really, really long time. And then I got my first like nice bolt action pen, and I've gone downhill ever since. I can't write with normal pens. So obviously whenever you get into, something like this, you have refillable cartridges. So, you buy them a pen, they can get their own cartridges. 9 times out of 10, quite a few different cartridges work for each pen, so they can kind of figure out what they like and what they don't like and just kind of go from there. You got this really, really neat and fidgety bolt action. Makes some really cool sounds. Very, very nice, very tight. In the case of this Civivi, we have a little bit of a glass breaker on top, but you can see it is not sharp. I can poke it, tap it, whatever. It's not going to hurt me. And they just feel good. Like, it feels so good in your hand whenever you're writing or whenever you're doing anything with it. All the extra little knurling, you see these little cutouts on it. Everything kind of is there for a reason, so it really makes a big difference. Now, talking about pens, a lot of manufacturers, a lot of variations, a lot. When it comes to pens, I typically try to stick with brands that I know or have heard of. Because if you go on Amazon or you go somewhere like that and you're looking at pens, there is a lot to look at, and there's a lot of brands you've never heard of. And sometimes that makes me a little, because you want to make sure you can find the refills, and you want to make sure that the pen's good quality and your clip's not going to come off, and that the bolt action, this little knob's not going to come off. Like, if you go to some of those really cool looking Amazon pens and you read the reviews, a lot of them are like, well, after a week of carrying this, my bolt fell off and they don't offer replacements, or, this fell off or this happened. So that's why, like, in the case of the Civivi pen, this one's a little bit more. This one's like 30 or 40 bucks. But if you go with, Olight has pens, and there's a lot of companies out there that make pens, and, Bastion is huge. They make a lot of good pens. There's a lot of brands out there that are really well known, that offer really, really good warranties. I would stick to something around that, kind of around that guideline, because once you get used to a pen, if you use pens a lot, oh man, it's hard to switch. It really is. It's tough. I use a lot of Olight pens, and I've been using Olight pens for a while, and it's tough to switch. So check out pens. If you got somebody, that special someone for Father's Day that, uses pens, or, thinks could use a pen, definitely check into something that's bolt action. Bolt action is super cool, super fidgety. It's very unique, and it's pretty fun to watch people that have never played with one before. Like, when you hand them your pen to be able to write something and they've never actually held one, they can't figure out how to get the pen to come out. So that's pretty hilarious. It's a fun conversation piece as well. So, there's only a couple more things, and the next things are going to be coins. Now, I just grabbed 2 because, I don't need to put all my coins on this one. This is just ideas. But coins are kind of cool. So this one my buddy Dan gave to me, and this kind of stays in my pocket. And it's not really for much other than just to come out, and I kind of roll it in my fingers sometimes. And it's kind of just like a good luck charm. It's just that one thing that you keep in your pocket that, a little bit of a sentimental value. And that's really cool. It's one of those things where some people don't carry a coin. A lot of people do carry coins, or carry something to this effect in their pocket. And this is another coin that I have. This is a, I don't know if there we go. You can kind of see how it's hammered on there. This is actually a copper coin that I patinaed. It was one of my first coins that I ever kind of bought to carry around. And I just patinaed this one just because, I wanted to make it a little bit more mine. I picked it up off Amazon. But yeah, it's such a hard topic because, it doesn't necessarily serve a purpose, but it really does. It really is one of those things where you just kind of keep it in your pocket, and it's meant to kind of fidget with every now and then. And the main thing is, it's kind of like a good luck charm. Every time I pull it out and I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, my buddy gave me this. And then I just kind of like, gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling inside that, it just reminds you of somebody, or reminds you of something, or just kind of lifts your spirits up a little bit. So thanks again, Dan, for my coin. I really, really enjoy this. And every time I pull it out and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, fidgeting with flicking the coin around in my hands, I'm just kind of like, man, Dan's such a good guy. so so there you go, a couple coins. And then the last one is kind of up for debate. I did want to throw this out there. So handkerchiefs, super, super nice. Nowadays, I don't think they're utilized anywhere near as much as they should be. You have one side used for cleaning whatever you want. You have another side that's a microfiber that is great for cleaning, your phone, your camera on your phone, any kind of electronics, your Apple Watch, wiping off your knife blade. I think this is one of those things that an EDC hank or a microfiber hank is something that everybody should have. Every single person should carry one of these. This one's made by Renegade, and I have several hanks. This is just the one I'm carrying now. It's just such a good idea. You can get so many different manufacturers. You can get so many different patterns, and if you go on like Etsy, there's so many people that are making them and then just selling them, and there's all these patterns, or you can request patterns. I mean, it's such a cool thing that you can, that's really, really inexpensive, like $20 or less. Sometimes a little bit more. You can spend upwards of like 30, but you can get them like customized. So this is such a simple, useful item that you could really customize for that person, or just find one that's already made perfect for them. So don't look over a hank. I mean, seriously, these things, I can't even tell you how much a day I use one of these. And like I said, everything from cleaning my phone screen, cleaning the cameras on my phone so I can take a photo, record a video, cleaning my watch screen, wiping off my knife. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Handkerchiefs, especially, got to make sure you got the microfiber on one side and the polyester on the other. Handkerchiefs, just don't overlook them. It's just such a good idea. But yeah, this has been like my, quick 5 budgie style Father's Day ideas, Father's Day gift ideas for that special someone, whether it's your dad, your spouse, grandpa. It's one of those things, your brother, it's so hard to try to find a gift for somebody. And, and then you start looking in these categories and you see that some things are so much money and some things are not so much money. It's really not. It's really not. For me, it's always been the thought is what matters. You thought of me, you went out of your way to buy something for me. With some of these things, especially like the hank, there's so much customization. There's so many different things with knives and flashlights and pens. If you know their favorite color or anything like that, you can pick them up in those colors, and then it feels like you really just personalize this gift. And it doesn't have to be hard. If you're someone who's in that EDC community, don't overthink it. It's not hard. It really isn't. It's super easy to do. Just, if you got any questions or something, drop a comment, shoot me an email, hit me up on Instagram. I'll give you all the help I possibly can. And I hope everybody has a happy Father's Day. To everybody who is a father, grandfather, happy Father's Day from me to you. I really, really hope you enjoy it. You've earned it. Thank you guys for stopping by, checking out this video. I greatly appreciate it. Please consider subscribing, hitting that like button. Thanks again. Catch you on the next one.